For literally centuries, honey's been called the food of the gods. Pretty cool, right? But for most of us, let's be honest, it's just that sweet thing we drizzle on toast or stir into our tea. Today, we're going to look way past the sweetness and dive into the pretty amazing biological journey raw honey takes inside our bodies, especially in our gut.
So, is it really just another way to get a sugar fix? Well, science is starting to show us that there is a lot more going on inside this golden liquid than we ever thought. Because here's the thing, when you eat honey every day, you're not just satisfying a sweet tooth. You are actively, and I mean actively, conditioning your gut environment. You're setting the stage for it to thrive. So, how in the world does that work? Let's get into it.
First up, beyond a simple sweetener. See, to really get what honey does, we have to understand what it isn't. And it is absolutely not the same thing as that plain white sugar most of us have sitting in a canister.
I mean, just look at this. The difference is night and day. On one hand, you've got the fine sugar. It's super processed, basically just empty calories, and it can actually feed the bad bacteria you don't want in your gut. But then you have raw honey. It's completely natural, and it's packed with not just simple sugars, but also important stuff like B vitamins, minerals, and powerful antioxidants. And here's the kicker, it feeds the good guys in your gut.
All right, section 2, how honey feeds your gut. So how does it actually do that? How does it feed those good bacteria? Well, the secret is a pretty incredible property that makes honey what we call a fantastic prebiotic.
And just so we're all on the same page, a prebiotic isn't the bacteria itself, that's a probiotic. Think of it this way. A prebiotic is the food for all the friendly bacteria that are already camping out inside you. It's the fuel that helps your little gut army flourish.
So here's the journey. It's pretty cool. You eat some raw honey, right? Well, it contains these special carbohydrates called oligosaccharides. Now, your body can't actually digest them up top, so they travel all the way down, untouched, until they reach your colon. And that's where the magic happens. They become a full-on feast for beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria, helping them grow strong and keeping your whole digestive system running smoothly. But honey's job isn't over yet. It's not just about feeding your gut bugs. It also takes on this active role as a soothing, healing agent for your entire digestive system.
Let's break this down. If you've ever dealt with acid reflux, honey's anti-inflammatory powers can be incredibly soothing. It's also been shown to help heal the actual lining of your gut, partly by fighting off nasty bacteria like H. pylori, which is a big cause of stomach ulcers. On top of all that, its natural antibacterial properties help knock out other unwanted pathogens. Oh, and if you happen to eat the honeycomb, you get an extra shot of fiber and vitamin A, a pretty sweet bonus.
You know, this whole idea is nothing new. Way back when, Hippocrates, the guy known as the father of modern medicine, famously said, "Let food be thy medicine." He totally got it. And it's just a great reminder that honey has been seen as both food and medicine for a very, very long time.
Okay, so with all these incredible benefits, it's really easy to start thinking of honey as this perfect, magical food with no downsides. But that's where we need to pump the brakes and talk about some really important precautions.
Now for section 4, important safety precautions. Because listen, while honey is powerful, it absolutely has to be used responsibly. There are a couple of things you just have to know.
The first and by far the most critical warning, it all comes down to a single number. 1, as in 1 year of age. This is non-negotiable. You should never, ever give honey to a child under 1 year old. Their tiny immune systems just aren't developed enough to handle certain spores that can be in honey, which can cause infant botulism. It's rare, but it's incredibly serious. It's not a risk for us adults, but for infants, this rule is absolute. Okay, the second thing to keep in mind is much simpler. It's just a reminder that even with all its benefits, honey is still a sugar. Yes, it's way healthier than refined white sugar, but it can still make your blood sugar spike if you go overboard. So, like with most good things in life, moderation is key.
So after all of that, what's the big takeaway? Let's get to our final section, your sweet takeaway.
When you boil it all down, it really comes down to a simple choice, a simple swap. On one side, you have refined sugar, which feeds the bad stuff and fans the flames of inflammation. Or you can choose raw honey, which nourishes your good bacteria, helps calm inflammation, and actually gives you valuable nutrients.
At the end of the day, a small, smart choice, like swapping out sugar for raw honey in your morning tea or yogurt, can be a really powerful step toward better gut health.
It's such a simple action, but it can have some pretty significant long-term rewards. So the real question is, what simple swap could you make